Hi everyone. Today I'm going to give you a brief tutorial about Google Colab, and also you guys need to do for your Python reviews. All right. So without further ado, we'll go colab.research.google.com, and then we have to upload from here Python tutorial. This Python tutorial is designed by me, John Yun. It has a file, the drop-down menu on top. So file, then you can, for example, upload your notebook, or you can also download. Download and in two types, IPYNB or PY. If you download the PY, then that is a Python files. All the homework assignments that I ask you to do, unless otherwise, it should be in .py file. This is the extension. If you submit IPYNB, it will not be graded, so you don't get a credit. Please make sure that you have .py. Not only that, if you simply download this .py, it includes everything of this, so it is not really ideal. Along this way, if you see here homework, I want you to do this only. Okay, improve this, and I said here your code is here, so you need to complete this code and then submit it. In one Google Colab, you might have more than one homework problems. Okay, for in this case tutorial, you might have I'm not sure how many homework questions. So only your submission should do two things that you have to make sure. Unless otherwise, you don't get credit. Okay, please make sure that your submission should be in one file, one Python file. So the extension of the file should be .py. Number one. Number two, I want you to contain, your file should contain only that homeworks. Okay, I do not want you to contain everything of this, right? Which will not be graded. If you do this, then I do not know which one that I need to grade. I want to grade only the homework here. If I ask you to do, consider this dictionary and this, here you do code here, and then the best way is that you can copy this and then put it in your for example, Python is not mandatory, but strongly recommend you to do so that this is a Python, so that you can copy it. Okay, and you can make this in that order, homework assignment order. You need to do that in one file so that I can evaluate your file very quickly. Okay, that's how I do. That is in this drop-down menu file, I think those two things are important, and others not really. Yeah, not right now. In another, because this is in another case, if you want to work on a file, then we have here sample data files. But still, you can upload the file here on this directory. Then you can do whatever the file that you can click and bring it in here. And if you want to use this this drive, this is your local drive, your colab drive. Of course, you can include your local host, not local host, your Google Drive. You can connect your Google Drive to your colab. Google Drive, if you have a Google account, you can make it. All of the files in that Google Drive can be also linked from your colab Python files. This is one extra that you can do. If you want to include specifically one of these, then here copy path, then you can get that path expression. And somewhere here, if I want to put that on here, for example, then paste, this is the expression, right? So that you can do path equals, and all of this will be the file expression, okay? All right, so in this tutorial, we'll look at data types, conditional statements, iterative statements, and functional statements. And strings, I didn't complete it yet. Object orientation also included. So we'll look at this very fast. All details that you can play with this, because this course assumes that you have Python skill sets. But this is a little more than that. Defining variables, if you want to defining variables, then variable my name contains the value John. All others comments, right? Only one statements here that can be run. If you click this triangle, click on this, then it is actually executed. And then you can print this my name here using print. And also you can not only this print is a built-in function. This built-in function may contain multiple arguments. String is the first argument here. My name is, comma, and then variable, my name. So two arguments can be printed by this print function. Or we can include to this string a method format. This format method bring the variable. This variable can fit in here curly braces in the string. So if I click this entire the code segment here, then it runs. So first line from the first print statement, the second one is the second, and third one is the third. Okay. With that, of course, you can, if you want to understand the format function, if you click this, then you can see some of those, okay? Data types, list available in Python. So you can click this to do append to the given list, and then you can access specific element in the list or the range of elements. You can use also function extend or append. See the difference. And another one, in addition to that, given this students list, you can append a list, another list, then it'll be a nested list, right? So question is how to access specific A. How can you get this? Using the students, then you need to do student, and then if you want to access from back end, not from the beginning but back end, then that is that should be -1, right? So it gives you the last one here, right? By having this. From this, if you want to access specific one element in that nested list, then into these statements, then you can do first element, which is index 0. Okay, then you will get A only there. JSON files. This can be what is the less code if on the code blocks. Oh, here this is. Oops, no, not this. Together. What is this? There's no questions. Probably some missing. Let's see what is missing. I think that is this, right? Tuple. Within parentheses, not the square bracket. We can access a specific element there, right? By pressing this. So you can access security, which is the third element in this tuple, so that index will be 2. Try with the method that if it is the list, then you can do, for example, append. But in tuple, it is prohibited. Okay, but if you want to add into this tuple, only thing that you need to do is that you need to change this to the list. So this is new list equals list. After that, if you do print new list, then it'll be the new list. So given this tuple, it'll be a list. Once you have this, then you can use the methods. There are various methods available in list, can be used. So append, you can append, for example, if there is a tuple, then maybe master's project. So it'll be network security. Okay, that is also possible. And then you can see the list. Then you will have network security. Once you have that, then you can change it back to tuple, so that you can do tuple and that is new tuple. Then it'll be this is tuple parenthesis converted to a list in square bracket and use to apply any the methods that is available in the list. You can play with it, and at the last you can change it back to tuple, so that I have tuple. Yeah. Some of the questions there, and dictionary similar to that, so that you have a dictionary here. Okay. Dictionary is a collection of key and value pair, so that you have student 1, the dictionary for student 1, dictionary for student 2 and 3. You can convert this to the form of JSON. So for example, all student equals in the list student 1 and student 2, student 3, and execute it. Then you will have, oh, I have it here already, right? So we can have, I'll play with here, print all student. Then this is a JSON formats, which is a list of dictionaries. If you see here, this is a list, first list, comma, and second list, third list. They are all in one square bracket, which is a typical format of JSON data. So you can also put there all stud append, and you can say name is James and phone number is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then you can execute it, still fine, and you can print that. You see the difference at the end. The first one ending here, the second one, because we append new ones. So names James and phone number 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many elements in print length of all student, and then length of all students. Yeah, how many there? Then 4, right? With those 3 given, and we append 1, so total 4. How can you access each one of those. Then you can do, for example, can we get the Chris, name Chris? Then you can do all student. Chris is where? That is a third element, so that you can do 2. And then once you have this, then you will have a dictionary. To access a specific key, then you need to say here name. What is the name in that student's dictionary? Then Chris comes out, right? So do you have Chris here? Conditional statements. So given this list, you can compare whether the length of this is less than or greater than, so that you can manipulate some. And iterative, for loops or while loops. For loop, you have 4 in the range 5 to 20 by 2 each step. So I will be start from 5. So 5 and jump to by 2. So 7, 9, 11, something like that. If you want to show that, then it will be for example, print I and equals, I'm not going to make a new lines, but I want to make a tab and continue to do that. And at the end, this is for loop I print I. And I'll print sum here also. And another tab, \T. After this for loop, I want to print the final sum. But it's print statements at the end, still no new line, which is not for me. So I'm going to make a new line here. New line, \n, and then sum. If I execute this, then very nicely, it starts from 5, and sum is 0, and 7, 5, which is not really good. So I want to make here print. Okay, this will be better. So I increased 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, not over 20. And it jumped by 2. And sum listed in this way. And at the end, after this, we add sum, right? After this, 77 plus 19, then that is 96. This is the finals. If we want to make all better way, so 5 plus, the way that you could do 5 plus 0 plus 7 plus 9, that is this. So there is a homework assignment. Your code should be here. Improve the above code segment to display this way. This goes all the way here, 19. And then instead of a plus, I wanted to put equal sign and 96. Make it, do it in code. Okay, you can make it in this way. And the loop with the conditional statements. If I do this, then you add them, add all the numbers in the list, but I want to make a sum of the elements and average. Average is now repeating infinite decimal. So how can do round off? So this is the way that you can do round off. Instead of 10.16666, round off it so that we will have 10.17. So another homework assignment, consider these dictionaries and write the Python code to display in this way. Okay, so I want you to make this. This is another homework assignment. So when you make a homework assignment, yeah, you can simply print this and then attach it. Yeah, homework assignment. Way of reading files. Oh, this is one good ones. This works. If you click this, then this is that one. What that means here, content sample data readme MD, which is this file. Okay, this file contains we cannot see that here, but anyway, that is this. So we can read the path to the files. Path expression should be recognized by Google Colab. Okay, so Google Colab recognize the file system within Google structure like this. So open the path and we can do read. So first one is print all, that is this, up to this point, up to this line. And if you do this all dot split lines, then it can generate a list. So as you can see here, there is a list. Okay, this is a list. Same content, but they are in the list. This directory includes a few sample. That is this. This directory includes a few sample data sets. This is one element in the list, and the second element is in the first element. The second element is simply one space. Here is a one space. And the third element, everything here, from start to everything. That is the third element, from here to there. And then another elements. There's a split. There is a split lines. Split lines can do. See what dot split lines can do. Yeah, I want you to see that. And another way that you can do is use read lines or read line. Here plural is a single. So if you click this, then the print statements here print statements. First that and then so what it does is here, open this file and then read the lines. In that way, you can get the number of, when I have here length, then get the number of lines. So line number 0, line number 1, line number 2, line number to line number 3, 4, something like that. Once you have this line number, then your file pointer to point it to the end of that file. You have to rewind that file pointer so that it can point to the beginning of that files, which is 260. So beginning of that files, and do this. And in this case, we want to read the lines with a line by line. For each line, we can do splits and more here. So this is how you can read the files. And then there's a for loops. As you can hear, while loops. In this while loop has a conditions. As far as this list is not null, this while loop runs. So that we can, this is exactly same code as you could see somewhere. This, remember, this is sum and the average of the elements in this list. That is written in a while loop. The previous, that is written in a for loop, here in a while loop. Okay, so there we have some of those. So idea here is that as far as this list has something, then we can add it. Once we add them to the sum, then we pop one out from there. Okay, that's what it is. And the function, string manipulation, maybe later, and functional statements. As we say here, built-in function and user-defined function. And when we consider function, we have to consider two things: how to define and how to invoke. If we use built-in functions, then we do not need to redefine it, simply invoke it. In order to invoke a built-in function well, then you have to read the manual of a function carefully, and you have to invoke it the way it is built. If you want to build your own function, then you have to do these two things: define and function. This is user-defined functions, grading. So given points, you can return letter grade, depending upon that. So this is a function. You have to run this function. So function is known by this Google Lab, and then you can execute. This is, by the way, this is the definition of that function. This is the invocation of the function. How we can invoke? We can invoke in this way. So with this dictionary, we want to get here letter grade, right? What is this? Only Sam. In the case of Sam, we convert that to letter grade. You can convert that to all over grade as well, right? Write a function statements to invoke the dictionary grade and display it. In this case, only the Sam case, because we say here Sam, but you can make it each and every one of these using maybe for loops, right? This is another homework assignments. And then this is another the code segment that tells us how function can be invoked by another function. Finally, we have four function definitions: f1, f2, f3, f4. And when I call f1, this function f1 inside in the implementation body to invoke another function, f2. The definition of f2 also invoke f3 and f4. So in that order. So when it comes to f2, the f3 is first invoked, f3, and then f4 is invoked. So by printing this, we may be able to see some of the way first function is called and second function is called. When it comes to second function, then third function is called. And when the completion of third function, then fourth function is called. And at the completion of fourth function, then return this. So F2 is done. See, F2 is done. Then finally F1 is done. So F1 started with this, and before return this, do F2. Start with this before it is done. Do something about second function. In order to do something between called and done, because of that function contains another invocations, so that should be done. Another function here, so deposit checks. And same function can be done in one function. This is the function definition. And this one is to define, the deposit check in the list. Let's say this is money to deposit, but those monies is formed in a list. Right. So what if we do checklist? So what if we do here, not in a list but a tuple? Do you see the difference? Here checklist is in the list. Another checklist in a tuple. In a checklist, it works fine, right? In a checklist in a tuple, see what happens. There is an error. Why that happens? Because in the checklist, the function itself, inside, this guy wants to manipulation of that second check. Second check is $34.15, but this guy wants to discount it. If it is written in a list, it goes well. But if we written in a tuple, this guy checked, for example, compromisations. Attack can be prohibited if we have this. So homework number here. Consider the function invocation. What is the type of returning data if multiple values are returned? And explain why one works but the other. See here, this works but the other not working, right? What is the implications? That is homework. By playing with this, I want you to see the difference. That is basically what it is. So multiple, I want to, if you set the arguments to a function, you may be able to see somewhere one asterisk, then that is arbitrarily many number of arguments. I want to take a look at that. And another way is the two stars, one star and two stars. What is the difference? So practice this and run it. By the way, there is one homework assignment. Write a code to receive arbitrary number of images, integers from user and return the total, the average. Like this, sample runs. Okay. So your code is here. I want you to do that. What about two stars? Two stars, then this is about dictionaries. Okay. For example, this is two stars. You simply submit. This is function definition. Invoke it with the parameter star diction. Diction is a list, so it can be manipulated with the double star, two stars. You can manipulate dictionary formats. Not only in this way, you can invoke in exact same one can be invoked in this way. You can make A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, like here. Do you see the difference syntactically? This is a dictionary formats that goes into this function calls. Similarly, you can say A equals 1. In this case, we use equal sign. In this case, you use colon. This is two stars. Object orientations. Class defined. Then we have initialized for that students, and then function, tuition, and GPA. So we can define a class like this. This is class definitions, and class can be instantiations, and also instantiate in this way, and also invocation of the functions. So tuition function here can be invoked by this particular object, student01. Student01 is constructed by here init function. Init function takes self is some addition that we can use like this self. Real parameter is from the second ones, ID, name, degree, major. So ID, name, degree, major. Major equals to cyber. If somebody didn't specify cyber, then by default we want to put cyber here. So once student 1 is in cyber, student ID S01, Peter and Adams. Okay, depending. So we call tuitions. This tuition is working for this specific object, which is Peter's tuition. This tuition is for Adam's tuition. Finally, this tuition is for Chris' tuitions. Tuition can take credit, number of credits, and then compute. So if degree is master's, then this is tuition calculations. If it is not master's, then simply look at credit number of credits. If it is less than or equal to 18, then flat tuition. Other than that, which is over 18, then up to, I think should be 18, yeah, up to 18 and compute that. So it'll be like this. So tuition for Peter 16,000, major the Adam 19,000, Chris is masters 31,500. Homework for object orientations, you do not need to submit, but anyway, this is another possible ones. You can install here, installations possible here in Pythons. You can, your code is here. I cannot execute this, right? Because the code is there. But anyway, so continually I'm going to give you Google Colab, so you can practice at one hand. You can practice at one hand, and also you can do homeworks. Homework submissions should include only the portion of homeworks in Python. All right, that's it. Good luck.